go the Battlers, you know.
Welcome to Tonight's Show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Better than you.
No, I'm fine. I am on top of the world. In fact, I've come back from on top of the world. I've had my summit up in the Himalayas, spoken to the guru up there, ironically, his name's Wayne, and I have come back with a positive, new outlook on football.
Did the guru say anything about my club?
He said, hang in there, Brian. Things will get better.
Well, it can't get worse, so you're right.
So, I've come back with a completely new attitude. In fact, I'm loving life. I'm here for you guys if you need it. If you need to have a shoulder to cry on, Brian, I'm here for you. Tom?
He must have taken his medication. Take one and take two.
Tom, if you need anything from me,
there's only one thing you could do for me, but you won't do it.
What is it?
What is it?
Get rid of that filthy thing.
I'll take it off.
Please don't. I don't want to see what's underneath it. Don't worry.
I'm happy if you want me to take it off.
What's underneath it?
Nothing.
No, that's okay.
Leave it on.
I'm good.
No, so how was your week, gentlemen?
Yeah, good.
Good? You're positive? You're happy?
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's great to be alive. I'm loving it.
It's one thing, yeah, we're alive.
Something's gone wrong.
All right.
10 minutes.
So,
come on.
So let's get into the round of football. Have we got anything we want to talk about for this week? Any issues?
Burning issues?
Burning issues?
No.
Did we discuss my favourite player wanting to leave my club last week? Because I'm still in shock.
Sad. That's terrible.
Oh, I'm scared.
So let's talk about it, Brian.
Okay.
Let's
Look,
tell me all about it.
Adden, I love you. Seriously, I love you, Adden. Please don't go, please. I don't know what to say. You know, it's funny when you have
really sad.
when you have a really bad year,
yeah,
and you've got like a shining light player, and you know, I mean, let's face it, you know, front rowers mature late. He's 24 years old, 24, and I would say, you know, he makes more post-contact meters than anyone else. He scores tries. He makes tackles everywhere. Adden, stay. We need you, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's sad that you're going to lose
him. For me personally, I'm a bit annoyed that you know, he only signed a contract last year. We're talking he's got 2 more years left, and now wants to leave.
But we know that there's some issues around living in Sydney that he needs to escape.
Oh yeah, look, and obviously the club has taken that into consideration.
Yeah. And
you know, and as it was reported, so the club has said, well, you know, there's 4 clubs you can go to, and that's it.
Yeah. And
so
they're all out of Sydney.
So if legitimately he wants to leave Manly and go and play football somewhere else, then it has to be for a club that's out of Sydney.
And it looks like the Warriors are the favourites.
Well, he'd be a big plus for them.
It would be huge.
Okay, so let's talk about Thursday night's game at ANZ where those beautiful Bulldogs, unbelievable, beat the Rabbitohs 26-16. I mean, honestly, it was a glorious win to the Bulldogs.
I don't think I can take this.
And I look, you know, well done to them, I say.
If you feel like you've moved to a parallel universe,
we are here.
You haven't. Something strange has gone on with Stephen.
You know, Steve.
Yes.
Your poor little bunnies monstered by the Bulldogs.
I know.
By the beautiful Bulldogs.
But how good was it to watch the Bulldogs play that well? I mean, honestly. They were so spectacular.
They weren't, Steve.
Oh, okay.
They were just better than the bunnies.
No idea.
They were just better than the bunnies, Steve. You've got to admit. The bunnies were still in the car park after the game started.
Oh, look, I'm not going to be critical of the bunnies. I think they didn't play probably as hard as they should, but let's give credit to the Bulldogs. They played very, very well. They played tough football. They played fast football. And you know what? I think you should be giving them some credit.
I am.
Good.
I've been waiting all year for them to win, and this was the game.
And how? And
they got off the bottom.
And they're off the bottom.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah.
So they did it for you.
I know, because of my hatred for Brisbane.
Which is a sad thing, and we'll talk about that later.
Don't worry. I don't mind. I know I'm full of anger.
You know, and there was a try that was scored by the Rabbitohs that shouldn't have been scored, and I was very depressed by that. I was upset that they allowed that. They should have not allowed that play. And I was a little bit upset about the sin binning as well. I felt for the guy who got tackled. I thought, that's
Paul Lachlan Lewis.
Paul Lachlan Lewis. That would have hurt.
I've got nothing.
You take his temperature.
All right.
But you know what? Look, the Bulldogs deserve to win.
I think you got that right.
If the Bunnies are going to play well into the semis, they're going to have to put 110% on what they've done.
Steve,
sure.
If we were to go back and have a look at our show, and you were to our shows in the past,
yes,
5 weeks ago you said the Bunnies are gone.
And I think I still have to agree to that.
Okay, so long as we can both agree with that. Can you agree with that too?
So, Stephen, do you think that they had their heads into next week?
I think
traditional
rivalry. I don't want to be critical of them, but I think they probably just thought ahead to next week and didn't think about this week. It was sad.
Like Brian said, they didn't leave the car park at the beginning of the game.
No. I'm not sure they left their houses, but that's another story.
Well, that's possible too.
Anyway, but thank you, Wayne, for letting them lose. I'm very happy that the Bulldogs are now off the bottom of the ladder. They competed for a full 80 minutes and they won a game.
Well, you know what? I was at the game and I heard them cheering, saying, "Let's do it for Brian." And
Let's do it for Brian.
Let's do it for Brian. It's what I heard.
Please, can we get it off for some serious stuff?
We had to because he couldn't be serious on that game because it would have killed him.
Let's go on to Queensland Country Bank Stadium where the Panthers beat the Cowboys 32-12.
Mm-hmm.
This was a beautiful game as well.
They're dominant, the Panthers, aren't they?
They are very dominant.
Yeah, it's got some nice tries.
And that was resting. Who did they rest? They rested Appy,
Tedavano, and somebody else. Tama.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Who's going to the Dragons?
Yeah.
Tigers.
Tigers. Yeah, I mean, it just shows their depth. And as I said before, they just don't have a weakness at the moment. It's not one of their players who you could say is underperforming. And, good luck to them. They won the minor premiership. Congratulations.
Yep. And they love scoring tries.
Yeah.
When they score a try, the Panthers after try celebrations involves the team.
Yeah, I brought this up a couple of weeks ago.
It's amazing.
Same as 2014 when South won it. That every time they score, every player gets involved in the celebration.
Yeah. That's the sign of a cohesive team.
I just love it. I love it. It's great.
So 12-all in the second half, though. Do we read anything into that?
I think the Panthers just took their foot off. I don't think the Panthers really had their head in this game either, but they did enough to win it. And the Cowboys didn't throw a lot at them.
Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah, it's very good.
So yeah, they could have a couple more years left. Who knows? But they also could be playing the best that they can play, and they might be able to step up to another level for the finals. Who knows? We're going to find out in 2 weeks' time.
It's very pessimistic of you, Tom.
Well,
normally you're a very positive person.
Just being realist,
Very pessimistic of you.
I was being speculative, Stephen, not definitive. I was speculating maybe they don't have another year, not they don't have another year.
Can you explain that?
Pessimist.
Okay. So let's go on to Bankwest Stadium.
I love it. Well then, Brian.
Where Parramatta Eels beat the Broncos 26-12.
In a most unconvincing win.
Yep. Thanks for using my word.
This wasn't a beautiful win.
No, this wasn't a beautiful win.
Like, the Dogs are scrappy and they fight hard and they play for 80 minutes and that's what you get every week. And sometimes teams get over them and sometimes they don't. The Panthers took the pedal off, still won convincingly. Now, I don't know how you can win by 14 points and for everyone to go, geez, they weren't that good. But Parramatta were not that good.
No.
That's my summation of this match.
So tell me where you rate Mitchell Moses as a halfback. What number?
Well, if you'd asked me late last year or early this season, I would have thought he was right up there, but he's dropped back, way back, in my estimations.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I would say he's about the 16th best.
Now, there wouldn't be any bias or hatred involved.
No. He'd be the 15th because I think, in all honesty, if you're looking at halves, he's the dominant half in that game. But just the games that we've already discussed. Is he ahead of Reynolds? Is he ahead of Walker?
No.
Is he ahead of Cleary?
No.
Luai?
No.
Is he?
Well, no, but only halfbacks because he plays at halfback.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I'm saying in general halves.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, why did my computer just decide to not like me?
You being aggressive?
Is he ahead of? Oh, so he might be ahead of Scott Drinkwater and Jake Clifford.
Mm-hmm. On his day, he would be. At the moment, not so sure.
And you've got Kieran Foran, Lewis. Okay, so realistically, we've only discussed 2 games, and he would be 6th out of those halfbacks. I don't rate him. I don't think he can control a game. I don't think he can run it.
He's definitely a confidence player, and his confidence is not up at the moment.
No.
Yes, but I like players that run to the line and take a hit, and I don't think Mitchell Moses does that. I think he's constantly looking for the magic play, ball over the top, flick pass out the back, little trick shot.
Well, it's unrelated to the game we're going to talk about, but Kyle Flanagan was actually taken out for 2 weeks because he wasn't taking the line on. And look at him now; he's doing exactly that. And maybe it's too late in the season now, but maybe that's what Mitchell Moses needed. But he couldn't do it because Dylan Brown was off.
I want to ask a question on this game.
All right.
Usually when a player in defence hits someone with his shoulder, let's take Jaden Sewer in the South game. It wasn't Marshall King. It was Lewis. Was falling, but he got hit. Okay, he hit him in the head. Why is it when it's turned around and the attacking player with the ball runs in a defensive line and leans in with his shoulder and hits someone in the head, why is it not a penalty? Because Sivo did that on that during this game.
Yeah.
He ran in, he leaned in with his shoulder straight into the head of someone. Yeah. But they played on. Why is that not a penalty?
Yeah, I think it's different because you're taking because if you're running, we all know if you're running the ball up, you're looking where you're going. The guy's coming at you. You're making the tackle. It's not somebody coming in.
But you're leaning in with your shoulder to hit someone.
It's interesting.
And you hit him in the head.
In basketball, I know it's not related specifically, but they have offensive fouls as well, where if you've got the ball and you muscle in on somebody, you'll get penalised. And I can't see why that's any different in this game.
It's not tiddly winks. I didn't mind it.
There you go.
No, I respect that.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This is killing me.
No, look,
you better keep it up because my game's coming up soon.
I'm just asking questions. I value your opinion. Are we off that game?
Yep, we're off that game. We're off because the Broncos are terrible.
Okay, let's talk about the Saturday afternoon game where the Titans beat the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles 42-24.
We're off this game.
I got to ask a question.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Were you disappointed? Or do you just see the love of the Sea Eagles and think, well, they tried hard?
For the first 10 minutes, Steve, I was ecstatic.
And then?
What you want is your team to compete. My team did not compete. And that hurt. That hurt a lot. I'm very, very, very upset.
Do you need some tissues?
I don't have any.
I've cried out. I don't look. It's disappointing.
Yeah. Look,
and I understand. Season's gone for both of these teams, but again, one team showed up, one team, didn't.
I tell you what, if the Titans were playing round 5 or round 6, they would be looking to have a very good end of the season.
Yeah,
because they are building really nicely.
We're always talking about pride in the jersey. And, sadly, I don't think Manly showed pride in that jersey.
Yep. Look, there's a bit of a clean out coming up at Manly. There are a number of players leaving and a number of players whose contracts have not been renewed.
That would be Travojevic as one of them. Tom.
Tom.
You're not gonna, don't tell me you're going to renew his contract.
Poor old Tom. Far out. What do? You get back after, what was it, 8-9 weeks with a hammy and knees. You do your shoulder. Oh my goodness.
So is it injury?
You know they got beds in hospitals with Tom Travojevic, this one, and Matt Moylan on this one.
I don't know. What do you do? We've got, so next year, obviously Thompson isn't going to be there. Danny Levi's not going to be there. Morgan Boyle's not going to be there. Adam Fenard-Blake's not going to be there. Corey Waddell's not going to be there.
You won't be having Manasi Fainu for most of the season.
Yep. There's unfortunately, and I don't like to bag players in my team, but unfortunately Lachlan Croker will be there.
Yeah, he's made a few blunders, hasn't he?
A few.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
I no longer see the potential in him. He has now been with us for 3 years. He was pretty woeful at the Raiders, and no, I can't see him playing first grade anywhere.
Are we prepared at this stage to suggest that the Titans will definitely be a top 8 side next year, given what they're playing now, and given they've got the players coming in?
I don't think it's definitely.
David Feeder.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think Holbrook's got a lot of quality as a coach. He's done enormous things particularly with Ash Taylor. And I think that's been a critical thing with Ash Taylor. He's actually been showing up and showing some interest, and because he's so pivotal in that team, a lot of the reasons why they weren't doing well was because of him, and now they're doing a lot better, partly because of him. Brimson's been sensational. I don't know if they'll be an top 8 team next year because they've still got to compete with the other good teams. But I think there's a couple of top 8 teams this year who may not make it next year if they don't improve.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's a possibility. They're finished 9th at the moment. They could stay in 9th after next week. I don't know who they play.
Yeah, but season's over.
Yeah.
Like at the point, realistically, I know that this game theoretically meant nothing. I mean, it hurts when your team loses.
But end of season form often is enough for you to carry that into the off season.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I think they'll have a good season next year.
Either way, I'm shattered. And for no other reason, since 1947, my club has been in this comp, and I'm not talking 1908, 1947. This is our worst ever home game record.
1 out of 4, isn't it?
1 win. 1.
Who'd you beat?
Parramatta.
Oh well, yes, it's something to remember.
So, but that's dismal.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
That's dismal. I mean, that's been our home ground since 1947, and to win 1 game is ridiculous.
Yeah, not good.
Very, very frustrating.
Okay, let's go on to the Sunshine Coast Stadium on Saturday evening, where the Storm beat the West Tigers 50-22.
Why didn't the Storm go on with it?
Well, I got to say, I was surprised that the Tigers even scored 22, and I thought at 32-22 they're coming back to get them.
Yes, I did too, and I think it's a pity that they didn't put a few more points on. But giving up 22 points for the Storm, albeit that they scored 50, but they can score lots of points, the Storm, and they're a very talented side. I still think that they are a bit vulnerable come finals time.
I've got to say, I'm liking Nico Hines
5.
as a fullback. I think he's going to be something.
He's getting better.
Special. He's getting a lot better.
It'd be interesting to see what's happening with Pappenhausen and how bad that injury is. It's been an Achilles strain, I think, and now with what's happened to Sean Johnson, they might be very wary. Don't know. They missed him. Certainly, there's no doubt. Pappenhausen. Yeah. But look, Jerome Hughes, I don't know how he does it, but he just seems to find a hole in the line constantly. Yeah, he did it to us.
He's a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But when he's on,
he's
great.
The way he finds a hole. Yeah.
I have to say, I did have a bit of a laugh when Cameron Smith scored that second try, and everyone started pointing up to the coach's box, and the coach flipped the bird back to the players. It was very, very funny. I got to say, and you know what? That's the mark of, I guess, a really tight group who's tight as players and as a coaching staff, that they can do that sort of thing and take the mickey out of each other during a game.
Well, they know each other.
Yeah.
You know, there's
for
a
those who
familiarity
didn't
there.
know, Bellamy scored 46 tries in his 130 game career or something, and now finally Cameron Smith scored 47 in 4,000 games or something.
4,000 games, yeah. 1,200 at least.
He's 73 years of age, isn't he?
Something like that.
Never had an injury either.
Either of you would take him at 73 years old, let me tell you.
You check he's not an android. Seriously.
Yeah,
So,
all good.
Yeah. And I thought that was very, very funny. Quite contrast to what happened with Ricky Stewart in the game this afternoon, throwing a ball out the window. But anyway,
yeah.
But no, look, I don't know. I'm more positive about the Storm than you are. I think that
they're
up against
a great side.
against
they're in second.
Yeah, and look, honestly, I don't think they got out of second gear. I really didn't. I mean, the Tigers gave them a scare, but the Tigers never really looked like they were going to. Although Adam Dewey had his best game for a long time.
They're really good signs, the Tigers, but they play in patches, you know.
Well, that's another
10,
club that's
15
going
minutes,
for a clean out.
they can give a team a real scare, but they just can't sustain it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, let's go on to... Oh, and that was a beautiful win by the Roosters. Sydney Cricket Ground.
Something seriously wrong now.
34-18. And I've got to say, I love watching the Roosters play.
What I loved was the guard of honour for Mitchell. I thought that was brilliant.
Very
Especially
special.
brilliant. And, for him to score 2 tries, tremendous. Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
It was. It reminded me of John Sutton's a couple of years ago. They're the very special players who every team needs them.
You love watching the Roosters play.
They're spectacular. They are. They look.
Can you just check his teacup, please?
Yeah, no, I made the tea. It's all right.
You slip something in there?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I thought I actually think 34-18 was a disappointing score, really, given the disparity between the two teams. The coach was pretty unhappy with that. Letting in 18 points was pretty soft, but there were some really nice tries that were scored.
I don't think he should be too critical. I mean, he was playing the Sharks, and the Sharks are a top 8 side.
And we were missing.
They're always going to score.
And we were missing
points.
Teddy and Jake and Boyd Cordner. Somebody else was missing as well. But I mean, we're missing a lot of fire.
That's right. So you never got out of second gear either, and you didn't have to work that hard to do it.
Joey Manu again had another very good game at fullback, and
he had an excellent game at fullback.
If he comes off contract, there's somebody looking for a fullback. I don't want to lose him, but they could very seriously make an offer to him. I think because he's a very capable fullback.
We could buy him as a centre and he could play fullback for 9 games out of 10.
So let me ask you a question, and I don't want Tom to answer this one, but I'm going to ask you the question.
Oh yes, indeed. I'm honoured, Steve.
Serious question. You have to pick a fullback for Manly. Daly Cherry Evans has gone to the Warriors. You have a choice of Cleary.
You mean a halfback?
A halfback,
You
sorry.
said fullback.
Halfback of Cleary
Yep.
or Flanagan.
Oh, Cleary.
Or would you take Keary and put him in as halfback?
Cleary.
You're on it?
Yep. I would. I think Cleary offers. I like Luke Keary. I like the way that he attacks. I think he's got a great running game. I think he's tenacious. He's aggressive in his defence. There's not much that you can't like about him. Like he's a really good player. And when he had his disagreement with the South's ownership a few years ago, I was certainly hoping that Manly looked at him, and unfortunately they didn't. However, I think Nathan Cleary is just exceptional. He controls the tempo of the game a little bit better, and he's got everything. I don't. At the moment, there's nothing that he can't do. He's playing in a great team with a great offsider, and I suppose Kyle Flanagan does his job, and that's the one thing you could probably give Keary ahead of Cleary, is that Keary has to run that team, and Cleary has Luai sitting outside of him, who if he's feeling a bit off, then certainly Luai can do anything as well.
I mean, I think Flanagan is going to be something special in a few years' time.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think. See, that's the hard thing. I was thinking about this today actually about players who mature late and don't get the opportunity. Manly have just picked up second row from Parramatta. I can't remember his name now. Alan Davey played on the weekend.
Yep.
28, he made his first grade debut, and he looks solid.
Yeah, he has been.
You know what? Sometimes it just takes players a long time to find their groove and know what works.
Yeah.
Young Walker over at South.
When he
those players, they're good players, and it just takes the right combination of team and coach and opportunity for them to work. And so I'm perhaps you're right about Flanagan. I don't see it at the moment. I think he's just he's solid. He does what he can do. But I think just about every halfback in the comp at the moment could do what he's doing.
He's a good kicker, he's a good goal kicker.
But he's not required to do anything else.
I think, like what I said before about what happened with Trent Robinson, I think Trent Robinson will want to get the best out of him, and he's going to make him work for it. And that's why Shane Flanagan allowed him to go to the Roosters. To get the best out of him.
I can tell you now, if the Rabbitohs don't go far in the semis, go Chooks. Okay, GIO Stadium.
Seriously wrong.
GIO Stadium, where the Raiders beat the Warriors 26-14, and honestly, I thought the Warriors were going to get them.
Didn't see this game. Sorry.
It was a good game.
It was a tough game. There was a few dust-ups in it, and it was a few weird calls.
They lost their halves for a while, didn't they? Lost Williams for the game.
Yeah, lost Williams for the game.
One with Simpin.
Yeah, so Williams was injured. Well, no, he took a hit to the head.
He took a big hit.
He took a big hit. He went down. He stayed on. He wasn't coming off.
Right.
The doctors said, no, you've got to come off after a couple of minutes. And he failed the HIA and couldn't come back on.
How far into the game was that?
Oh, early.
Really
15
early. Minutes.
You know why? Because I picked him as my point of difference in my Supercoach team, and he scored 4, or was it 6? I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
That's just frustrating.
But this game had hair pulling. It had some really dud.
I think.
Okay. So there's a couple of bunker calls which I want to talk about.
Okay.
So one of them was ball went down on the ground. I think the Warriors dropped the ball, but it went backwards. Warriors dived on it, and a Sharks Raiders player lashed out with his foot and kicked his hand.
Right.
So then they sorry, I've got to get the process right. And then what happened was the ref called something, and they challenged it. So the bunker then had to determine whether his hand was kicked. They kept looking at these angles, and it would look a bit dodgy, until after they said no, he never kicked his hand. Then they had to look at another angle where it was blatant that he kicked his hand, and even the guy's going ow as he pulls his hand back.
Yeah. What? He didn't describe it right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jordan, loose ball. Raiders player. Sorry, who was it? Warriors player. Can't remember who the player was. Dived on the ball. As it was bouncing and he was diving for it, Jordan Rapana came through, went to kick at the ball. The Warriors player gathered the ball in, and after the incident goes, as he,
I don't know what you're saying that I'm saying differently, but okay.
He didn't kick him, is what I'm saying.
He did kick him.
Okay, long enough on that.
He
may have kicked him.
Okay.
Was he penalised?
No, because it was captain's challenge. So the ref called penalty, and
because
then
he kicked him,
and then the Raiders challenged it and won the challenge that he didn't kick him.
and he kicked him.
Oh, he did.
He did kick him, and then there was another one.
What was the other one?
Where they all jumped for the ball. The Raiders. Let me see. I just got to remember the Warriors player. Raiders they both went up for the ball. The Raiders player caught it, but he came down wrong. they got a penalty against them because they said they tackled him in midair. But you could see
Oh,
both
yeah,
of them
yeah,
going
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
And when you're both in the air and you're both going for the ball, your arms are going to end up somewhere.
Yep.
Now, not like he pulled him down or
Yeah,
anything like that.
the different. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was an odd one. They've gone up. So it was it Jared Croker?
Yeah, it's Jared Croker.
He's gone up. So Croker's got the ball. The Warriors players come in on the other side of him, and as soon as Croker touched the ball, you could actually see the Warriors guy pulled his hands away because he was going to get there late.
But his body probably hit him.
His body hit him. I mean, he was challenging for the ball, but because of the way Croker fell, it was a penalty.
Right. But he didn't. It's not like he pulled him down or anything.
No. He actually, you could actually see
pulled his hands away.
He was going for the ball, and then at the point where the ball was, he was clearly going to miss the ball, and Croker had it.
Yeah.
He's actually pulled his hands away. Like
So-
it was
so
the most.
Croker got a penalty, did he?
Yeah, it was the most bizarre.
It was a strange decision. It truly was.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway,
But anyway, look, Raiders won. The Warriors, I think, they played really well. They just didn't have the cattle to go on.
I think the Raiders got under their skin.
Oh, they big.
That was the thing. Like Bateman with his hair pull and
Bateman should have
stuff
been
like that.
Should have been sin binned a couple of times.
It was pretty funny. Second row. You'll love this, Tom. He was in the second row behind Papali, and he reaches around and starts pulling the opposition prop's hair. and of course, the prop gets up and starts into Papali, and I'm going, I don't know whether I'd be taking on Papali, and it wasn't him.
Yeah,
I don't like that kind of stuff.
No.
I like the niggle.
Even I mean a lot of the I won't.
I like it. I like the niggle,
Right,
but they put him off.
McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Knights beat the Dragons 42-18, and the Dragons
They
weren't
were lucky
good.
to make 18 points, honestly, from what I saw.
The Dragons weren't good.
They were terrible.
I don't think the Knights were exceptional either, to be honest with you. But I didn't think they
That's the
were.
problem with the Knights is that they'll have a bad game and then they'll bounce back, or they'll have two bad games and they'll bounce back.
Yep.
They're just totally inconsistent. So,
Okay. I asked you a question earlier. All right. Here's my problem. Cowboys playing
You've got a
Panthers.
lot of problems.
Cowboys playing Panthers. 12-all in the second half. And your comment was, no, the Panthers were okay. They didn't lapse. It was, it was just,
Yeah.
This was 12-all in the second half.
I know.
Yeah.
Do the Knights have a problem?
Yes.
I know it's
But
a problem.
why? It was 30-6. They were well in control. I'm just curious because I personally agree with you, but I don't know why this was a problem in this game.
Because I think, like South, the Knights have a problem with having that killer instinct. At 30-6 in front at half time, you should be going on with it. I don't expect you're going to win by 60 or 70. But I don't think the Knights played that well in the second half. I think if you have a look at the second half stats,
Yep.
I mean, they had 59% of possession in the second half. They had a completion rate of only 75%. And they just seemed to switch off. All of a sudden, they couldn't do much. I don't know why. If it wasn't for Ponga in this game, I think it would have been a lot closer than what it was.
I think you've been a little bit harsh on them.
Maybe?
So there was one try though that I just want to quickly mention, and that was the one to, was it Shabaski, whatever his name is. Shibasaki, that's it. I'm glad you're here, Tom. Is he the one where or was it an early Tuala
reached out?
Like he's being tackled by three guys, ball in the air, manages to catch the ball, twist with three guys in the tackle and score.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous amount of strength and football brain to get that ball over the line.
I think the one you're talking about though is where the guy was tackled by three players
that was
in front of the
feeding.
goalpost and honestly just leant over.
Yeah, that was soft.
And double movement? His momentum was stopped.
No, well, the ref...
Did they call it?
His arm hadn't touched the ground.
And the ref didn't call it. No, his arm didn't touch the ground. It wasn't,
Lomax's try was a good one too.
Yep.
He had to break out two tackles.
I tell you what, he is an exceptional player, and in a good team like the Roosters or Melbourne or someone, I think he'd be exceptional.
Yeah, sure.
I don't like this, Steve. I want us to pause here. I want you to stop the video and get back to your normal self because this is really irritating me.
We're at the last game anyway.
I'm almost about to call Tracy and say I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Would you
come pick
like
him up.
Who's going to do the ladder?
Me, my turn.
Oh,
All right. Official minor premiers, 35 points in first position, Panthers. Congratulations. So you'll get from me. In second place, Storm on 32. The Roosters and the Eels in third and fourth on 28 points. The Raiders in 26. The Knights 23. The Rabbitohs on 22. And the Sharks round out the 8 on 20 points. Just outside the 8, the Rising Titans, a little too late for their run, on 16 points. We have 3 teams on 14, the West Tigers, the Sea Eagles and the Warriors. The Dragons in 13th position on 12, the Cowboys on 8, the Bulldogs off the bottom on 6 points on a points percentage, and the Broncos, now the lowly Broncos, in 16th position.
Okay, just before we move on, I want to say I'm disappointed that Tim Gillespie has announced his retirement.
Yeah.
Not an overly exceptional player, but a hard worker. I always like.
It's always hard when players have to go off because of concussion.
you can't play forever.
No.
You know, like
You only played 130 something games.
Thompson over at Manly, the same. Like you can't play forever.
Yeah.
But Johnson's going to the Super League.
Yeah.
So that was what do they call it? The penultimate round of football. So next week we have the last round of football. So Thursday night game, Broncos and Cowboys at Suncorp Stadium.
Well, it's a chance for the Broncos to get off the bottom. They may come out firing at home. I think it'll be a tight game.
I'm going Cows.
I want them both to win.
Oh.
I think we should change the rules to have both to win.
Give them a little ribbon that says, "I compete. I ran in a race."
That's what he needs for Souths.
I think the Cowboys will win this one. Okay, let's go on to Seabus Super Stadium on the Friday evening. Titans and Knights.
It's a tough game for the Knights to finish on because the Titans will want to finish on a high, especially at home. This will be tight, and the Knights. Who knows what you're going to get? Honestly.
Yeah, I'm thinking Knights because if they win this, they get a home semi, and I think that's important.
If South won the other night, they would have got a home semi as well.
Yeah, but the Knights have to win this to get a home semi, so
but
I'm
they were
going
valiant
Knights.
in defeat.
They were. You've got to say they were very good in defeat. I actually think the Titans are going to win this one.
Yeah,
Home game to the
I wouldn't
Titans.
put it past the Titans.
I think the Titans will win this.
You're hoping.
No, I don't want to see anyone lose, but I think the Titans will win.
What about the next game, Steve? Do you want to see somebody lose?
No, I think this will actually be a spectacular game, ANZ Stadium, where the Rabbitohs are playing the Roosters. And you know what? I think this will be spectacular.
I think it will be a spectacular win to the Roosters.
I can understand you saying that. I get it.
The thing about these games is they both come with a real aggression to beat the other team, and so sometimes form just goes out the window. So I'm expecting a very willing game here.
Yeah, look, I think they will both turn up, and I think they'll both play hard. A good game. And I think a good game. And look, whoever wins, wins. I don't complain.
It's a very profound statement from Stephen.
So, ANZ Stadium, where the Panthers are playing the Bulldogs.
I hope the Panthers rest their entire first grade squad and the Bulldogs win.
Because they'd have a pretty decent second squad. Yes.
There is no way the Bulldogs can win this game at Panthers at full strength.
No.
Or even 3/4 strength, or even half strength.
Yeah.
That will not be a good game.
Yeah. Even Diet Panthers would beat the Bulldogs.
Okay, let's go on to Netstrata's Jubilee Stadium, where the Sharks are playing the Raiders.
And the Sharks now have no halfbacks left.
Yeah, so Raiders will win.
Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders will win too. You got a feel for Johnson.
Yeah.
It'll bring Moylan back, but who knows how long he's going to be able to play for. So I think the Raiders as well. And Bankwest Stadium on Saturday afternoon will be the Tigers and Eels.
And if the Tigers beat the Eels and the Raiders win, the Raiders will finish fourth.
I actually think
There you go.
I actually predict an upset. I think the Tigers have actually been playing well enough in patches to beat the Eels. And I don't think the Eels have been able to lift their game to win. I'm going Tigers.
Again, yeah, difficult one. I don't know. The Eels have been unconvincing. The Tigers playing patches.
That's right, it's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Eels for me.
Okay.
Let's go on to Central Coast Stadium, the Warriors and the Manly Sea Eagles.
Why are we always favourites?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because you're such a good team.
I've got to pick the Warriors in this game. I think.
I'm going the Eagles.
I'm going the Eagles.
If Tom had been playing again, because he had a horrible game, if he was playing again, he might be better for it. But
I'm going the Eagles to support you, Brian.
wow.
Thank you, Stephen.
Check his tips. Check his tips on something.
I am. I'm going. Whatever you are going to pick the Eagles because you've said it now, and I'm going to change your tip.
It's on record. I'm going to support you, and I think I'd like the Eagles to win this one. Last game of the round, where the Dragons are playing the Storm at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium.
And the Storm by how many?
Many points. The Storm will win this by.
Well, let's not upset Barry.
I'm sorry, Barry. Your whole team was, except apart from Lomax, were terrible this week. I cannot see them beating the Storm. Oh, and McGuinness was good too.
Yeah.
He should come to Manly. We need a hooker.
All right. I think the Storm will win this, but Barry, go Dragons.
Now, Stephen,
Yes.
I can't take this.
What?
Whatever it is that you're on and whatever point you're trying to prove, please don't. I don't like it.
I told you.
No, Stephen.
It's the new me. It's positive.
I don't like it.
No, you know what? Calm, serene, sensible.
Please post on Facebook if you like this news, Stephen, or not.
I want everybody to win. I'd like us to start handing out flowers at the end of the match.
You've just lost the point of football.
Yeah, that's right.
Completely lost the point of football.
It's been a tough week.
Anything you tell us you want to end the show with?
I just want to congratulate Tom for being the first player picked in the blue squad.
I didn't know we were anywhere near that.
Yes, Brad Fittler announced it this morning on one of the football shows that
the injured Tom.
The injured Tom is the first player picked in the New South Wales State of Origin squad.
Interesting.
And I'm presuming he'll be the first one out when he can't meet the...
when he physically can't make the team.
So that's a sympathetic choice.
Yeah.
No, look, Brad Fittler has always said that he'd pick Tom in the team. And they did a live cross this morning and Brad Fittler said, congratulations, you're the first player into the squad. So I don't know what that means, but...
Well, he'll be playing on the wing, I expect. He's not
or in the centre. No, he'll play in the centres.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have like 10 fullbacks in the team.
Yeah, Tom, anything you want to end the show with?
Well, thank you. I would like to call you gentlemen, but I can't, for absolutely shellacking my perfect joke around this week with two absolute certainties that you lost and wrecked my chance of winning the comp.
Would you like some of my points?
No. That wouldn't be nearly enough.
Well, it will help because I'm happy for you to get to take them. That a couple of weeks ago, remember I sent you an email and said, you haven't given them to me yet. Will you give them to Tom, please?
Okay.
It's not going to help.
I'll give them to Tom.
Give them to Tom.
Yeah, anyway,
and double them because it was a proper round.
Anyway,
I'll double them.
Thanks for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines, and hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll do it all again next week for the final round of NRL football. Thanks for watching.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.